soon as he has a single, Kimura.
And jumps roll.
And just falls to his back and just brings that shit all over his head and touches the ground.
Oh,
Just breaks it. The guy stayed like almost like on a guillotine. Like the guy jumped guard, like almost like dropped his back on guard.
right.
And the guy stayed like basically DDT'd himself facing the mat, stayed on top of the guy. The guy brought his arm all the way over and touched the mat and just, you just hear it.
Oh.
And the guy's arm was just hanging there. And I'm like, holy shit. It's the first time I ever seen that live.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've seen arm breaks, but I was like, whoa. And I just look over to like Mike Bravo and some of the other, and Vader who was watching. And I was like, that guy ain't going to work tomorrow. that guy might be out of work still. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's a gnarly break, dude.
that was insane. And I was like, and then Vader and I'm going as the guy, same guy. And I was like, hey, whatever we do, man,
let's not shoot singles on this guy.
let's fucking be mindful of this guy's athletic ability. He's like, we will. And Vader did very well.
Someone's coming over and I can just hit the backyard real quick, or, you know. So.
Are we recording right now? Welcome to the BJJ Balance podcast. We're just like, hey, look, that's a little behind the scenes action right there. We're talking a little weed whacking, a little cutting grass.
We haven't officially started, but yeah, we are recording.
This is Kenny at Freak Party BJJ. And my name is Matt Vega at Oast Nation BJJ. And pop quiz, favorite Disney character, go.
Cusco from Emperor's New Groove.
Cusco. I was a Kronk guy.
I like Kronk too. Kronk's hilarious.
That's a great movie.
Yes.
My favorite character of all time is Gaston, and he was a good guy. And you're not going to change my mind on that. He was in the right the whole fucking time. Okay? This chick's hooking up with a dog.
Yeah, you're
You know
right.
what I mean?
You're right.
He kidnapped her dad.
Yeah, talk about what do they call it? Munchausen, not Munchausen's. Where you like sympathize with your capture.
Yeah, I don't know what that's called. But he kidnapped her dad, kidnapped you, said if you don't want to come to dinner with me, then don't eat. Stay locked up in this room.
Yeah.
Not a nice guy.
No.
Told off a lady. And let's go. Belle's underage. Let's throw that out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because the curse was at his 21st birthday if he doesn't freaking do this. So was you know what I mean? So Gaston's like, this crazy guy's got to die.
Yeah.
Say less.
Yeah. Trying to save the girl village.
I'm trying to save the village.
Yeah.
You're mad at me because I got a hairy chest. I lift weights. I eat 3 dozen eggs and I fucking can bench and I shoot guns.
Yeah.
Gaston's my type of guy. You know what I mean?
It's fair.
He's a good guy. So yeah. I don't know why I want to talk about Disney, but here we are. Anyways, well, I'll never let my son wear headgear. Let's just get into jiu-jitsu. And I'm going to tell you why I'll let him wear headgear. Because it's just like bicycles. Like I see these dads riding bikes and then they have that fucking helmet on and they look so lame.
I like it. I like it when the dad tries to get the skate park helmet to make him look
cooler.
Yes.
Not cooler, dude. There's nothing worse than the dad with the bicycle helmet on and he's pulling the buggy with the kids in the back.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a bad look.
Yeah.
And if you're doing jiu-jitsu, the only thing equivalent to wearing a bicycle helmet on a bike is wearing headgear. I'm just anti-headgear. I rather just like, my ears are fucked. All right, well, I'm going to take a couple days off then.
Right. Right. I wrestled in high school briefly, 1 season. Nobody wore headgear in the wrestling room. Ever. The only time we wore headgear, in fact, I didn't even own headgear until I did a tournament and I had to buy headgear at the tournament to wear because they make you wear headgear. But like even the majority of wrestlers that I know are not wearing headgear.
And we talked about headgear before. And what was the most people, because there was a lot of viral shit on that.
Oh, yeah.
What were the biggest complaints on that? Look at, like I said, if you're a high level athlete and you have a tournament coming up and you need to train and your ears are fucked, pass, wear it. If you're a female.
Specifically what you said is you didn't like white belts wearing headgear.
Yeah.
And people lost their shit over that.
I don't want to ruin my ears. All right, cool. You know what I mean? Like, this is my personal opinion. I don't think it looks cool.
No.
Could you die doing jiu-jitsu? You could.
Yeah.
It's a spot where you're getting choked unconscious, right? If you die, whatever you're wearing, them your ghost clothes. You're already wearing a fucking white gi and a white belt, and then you have headgear. Come on, man. It's not a good look, dude. You ain't scaring nobody rattling chains. You're not scaring nobody rattling them chains.
Oh my God.
Ooh, I got the headgear. I look like I'm going to do a podcast, but I'm not. Ooh, come on, man. Bunch of fucking tough guys with headgear on. Ain't cool, dude.
God.
To me, it's not cool. Like high level jiu-jitsu guys get a pass because they're competing, or even guys. Okay, even if you're not high level, if you're an active competitor in jiu-jitsu, and you train all the time, and you're into comp classes, and you got like worlds coming up, and all these tournaments coming up, and you have active ringworm. Or ringworm. If you have active ringworm, go home. If you have active cauliflower ear, yes, I will say it's okay because you got to stay sharp. You got to stay the reps up. You don't want to miss out on training because you have big tournaments coming up. But if you're just like getting headgear on to prevent damage that hasn't even happened yet,
right?
They're not condoms, guys.
Do you have cauliflower ear at all?
I have this tiniest bit on my left ear right here. It's like really small, but a lot of big guys don't get a lot of cauliflower ear.
I was going to say, I hear a lot of it's genetic.
It can be. Some people's ears are different. Like some people have little stiff little ears or big ears. My ears are really floppy. Wife loves them. But like a lot of big guys don't have cauliflower ear because we do the smashing.
Yeah.
A lot of, if you're playing a lot of deep half, a lot of bottom, you're getting grinded on a lot. You're going to get it. So, but females, go ahead. You got to put earrings on them. You're trying to show off your ears.
Right.
Like,
go
ahead.
I don't know.
But I don't want my kid to see me wearing headgear. My son, my daughter won't see that.
Yeah. I don't have any cauliflower ear. Not that I know of, at least.
Yet.
Yeah. But I've never. You're
gonna go into practice and Bendel's gonna be like, "Oh, you don't have any cauliflower ear?"
And he's gonna get me
everything you fucking do on the Satana's podcast can be held against you.
Yeah, Bendel's gonna get me in side control and just grind my ear with his knee.
Red Bull gives you wings. IBJJF comp season makes no fucking sense though.
Yeah, IBJJF comp season. Let's talk about this shit. Okay, first of all, IBJJF, what the fuck is your season? When's the start and when's the end?
What in the NASCAR are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like NASCAR, like the Daytona 500. Right. You'd think that'd be the last race of the year, right?
Yeah.
The main event, the Super Bowl. What is it? The last game of the year. NBA Finals, last game of the year. World Series, last games of the year. The biggest race of the year, the Daytona 500. The first race of the year? That's retarded.
Yeah, why am I starting my comp season in January to rack up points so I can get better seeding for Worlds or World Masters because I'm old? And then that shit's in like May. But then it's not like the season's January to May. No, there's shit in June and July and August and September and October and all the way to the end of the fucking year. What the fuck is going on here? Why is it that Pans is the same weekend as a fucking another IBJJF tournament on the other end of the country? You know what I mean? Like, if you've got your big tournaments or your American Nationals, your Masters International, your Worlds,
Euros.
Yeah. Why do you have other comps in the same organization the same week?
It's cash. I mean, it is what it is. It's money. IBJJF is just printing money.
Yeah.
You got people paying $115 to $120 for registration.
Yeah.
And for one match.
But yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just one and done.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Here's a t-shirt. Oops, this year we don't have t-shirts. Here's a shaker cup.
Thanks.
You know what I mean? Like one and done. Thanks for your 120. And then like on to the next. Like,
right.
It's just a money grab. Like the only people who really care about the world titles and stuff like that are the competitors themselves.
it's such a weird. I try to be like an understanding guy, and I look at things like when you go to an IBJJF tournament, like there's hundreds to, if not 1,000 or thousands in some of the larger comps, people competing that day. So there's a lot to like worry about organizing. However, you get to those things and they're so unorganized as far as start times are concerned, as far as check-ins. When I was having my gi check, the fucking guy's on a cell phone taking a personal phone call and just fucking not even like looking at me, just like on, you know what I mean? Like,
now you can see the laziness from some of the refs and some of the people keeping score.
Right.
Because I have like 2 little kids.
Right.
And you'll see like a guy and a girl. They're like 16, keeping score of your thing.
And they're flirting.
They're just trying to fuck.
Yeah.
And you're like, bro,
Yeah,
I just got 2. I just got fucking 2. The kid's just like, yeah, what's up, girl? And they're like, come on, give me my points. Yeah. So like, there's that. But it's also, you got to take place for injuries.
Yeah.
That stalls time. Bracket starting late because they're calling someone's name over and over and over. IBJJF will call your name for fucking 3 hours before they DQ.
Right.
That's all holding up your division.
I waited 30 minutes in the medals bullpen for them to let me go up onto the podium and get my medal
because they're waiting.
Right.
So yeah, it's like, it is on them, but it's also on the competitors for
be a little more strict with it then. You know what I mean? Like,
don't no show. Like, don't no show your tournaments.
Okay. If you're, let me look his name up real quick. I'm calling you out.
To me, if you no show your tournaments, like just text them or message, but can you just message them, be like, email them, like, not going to be there.
So I'm competing in San Diego in next month, May 18th, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I flipped to Masters 3, and the only person in my bracket right now, super heavy, Masters 3, is Carlos Alfonso Dueñas Ojeda.
Well, this guy's Brazilian.
From Ensenada Bay, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
If you got
Mexico.
Got 4 names, though.
Yeah, Mexico.
You sure?
Yeah, because it's first name, last name, mom's first name, dad's first, or mom's last name, dad's last name.
Is that everybody?
Yeah, it's like that.
Fuck, that's how long it's been. Mine would be Matthew. First name, what is it? First and last name?
First name, middle name, mom's last name, dad's last name.
Matthew Allen Spillman Vega.
Yeah. It's a Catholic thing.
That sounds
like
not
Catholic.
Tough at all.
So I told Chad, Zombie, and I said, yeah, I'm signed up in this bracket. And he said the guy's name. Is it Alfonso? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, oh, that guy no-showed me in LA. He signed up already for every tournament this year that's like West Coast.
Hey, man, don't do that, dude.
So don't leave me in the bullpen for fucking 2.5 hours for you not to show up so I can get a first place. And
we got the Rodzilla drop. Also want to get a Chad drop from the Cranberries. Zombie. I just want that. Zombie. That's it.
Okay.
I want that for Chad every time we say him.
Okay.
His name. Nicknames are earned, not given, Chad. This is your nickname. I want you to run with it. I want you to.
He already has started running with it. And the La Malavita guys have started addressing him by that as well when they post about.
I want zombie shit on your rash guards. You know what I mean?
He's got a new rash guard coming too. So if the La Malavita guys are listening to this episode, maybe you throw in a little extra.
Little zombie, little fucking. I don't know, dude. Get a fucking logo. Whatever, dude. Branding, dude. It's all about it. You're blue belt. Go ahead. Girls are doing it.
Yeah, that was in the hidden episode. We didn't bring that up again.
We didn't bring that up. Like, I'm working on, like, I saw this, I sent this reel to Kenny, and it's this girl, and she's in a gi, and she's like, all of a sudden, she's just like, this posing for a picture, all of a sudden it flashes like, did you see it? And then she wants you to pause it. And if you pause it at the right fucking time, it's her showing her butthole to the fucking camera. And I'm like, whoa. Like, there's a lot of these videos out there, and only a blue belt girl can pull that off. Because could you imagine, like, there's no way. There's no way.
Could you imagine a 40-year-old blue belt Kenny fucking?
So we're going to do one, a BJJ Balance reel, where I'm being like, did you see it? And so we pause, and it's just going to be me holding the sign like, go train, you fucking perverts.
Yeah.
That's all I was going to say. But yeah, that's wild, bro. These blue belt girls are out here.
So the topic that we talked about last week was there was a girl that came out, or maybe 2 weeks ago, girl came out talking about her, Gordon or women not making as much money in jiu-jitsu as men and whatnot. And I disagree with that.
No, it's out there, man.
These influencer girls in jiu-jitsu are having gi sponsorships as blue belts. And I'm like, that's like with promo codes and you know what I mean? Like they're making money.
I respect the hustle of the ones that are actually putting out funny content.
Yeah.
The ones that are just like using jiu-jitsu as a platform to show their titties. I mean, it is like cool, but like whatever, like not
right.
There's nothing to that. But if you're actually like scripting out skits and trying to be funny, there's this girl from Australia named Victoria. She always sends me her skits or scripts or like, can you help me? What do you think would be funny here? This, that, and that. She's like really funny. She does like funny skits. She has a lot of girl followers, obviously. So like, she's like, you want to collab? So sometimes I'll collab with her because I'm like, I could use more girl followers. You know what I mean? Like by following her as a collab, it helps me out. So like, yeah, like if you're funny, and it's actually putting in the effort to be funny, then yeah.
Well, then you're actually creating a bit of content. Yeah.
Right. You're not just, even if it's not your cup of joe, but like, if you're just like saying like, I don't wear a rash guard under my gi. Here's me in my sports bra, just trying to look sexy all the time.
Right. Right.
It's a way to gain followers, no doubt. But that is not much skill involved in that.
Right. Nah. Should you? Oh, yeah. This was a question that was sent to us. Should you break someone's arm in a comp if they? Or no. That's something I saw on a board. And I just texted to you. Should you break someone's arm in a comp if they don't tap?
Yeah. In a competition, yeah.
Yeah, it's their job to tap.
It's their job to tap. You should break it.
Just like if you had them in a choke and they didn't tap, they're going to sleep.
In practice, no. I'm not breaking anybody's arm in practice.
Right.
Yeah, but I know I have it and they're not tapping. They're just being stubborn. I'm like, all right, dude, I'll just move on.
Somebody said something along the lines of like, because of sportsmanship, even if I know I could break it, I won't, and I'll let off of it and go for something else. And even if I lose the match, then at least I know that I had it. And I'm like, no, this is a competition.
He's trying to break you. Would you put someone to sleep in competition?
Fuck yeah.
I think everybody would.
Yeah. I think people want that. You know what I mean? Please don't tap.
The walk away photo with the guy laying on the ground and you're standing up walking away is the best jiu-jitsu photo you can have.
Right. Like when you went to sleep at Pans.
Yeah. Some guys got it of me. Just twitching on the ground and shit. But look, no, I would break it. Sorry, man. Like you see people snapping their knees and heel hooks all the fucking time.
All the time.
Like it's just part of the game. Tap.
Right.
This is the game.
Yeah. Unless you're Tony Ferguson and
if you're a pro boxer, I just jab him and I would not knock him out though.
Yeah, I can knock him out, but I'm not going to.
It's people who say jiu-jitsu is not fighting. I think they're dumb because jiu-jitsu is a style of fighting.
Right.
People like a lot of MMA guys will be like, oh, they're just jiu-jitsu guys. I hate when you say jiu-jitsu is a fight. MMA is a fight. No, jiu-jitsu is a style of fighting. Just like the breaststroke is a style of swimming. Just like freestyle swimming, diving. It's all different arts. Boxing is just stand up. Like it's all different stuff. So jiu-jitsu is fighting.
Yeah.
It's just a style of fighting. And to say that I broke your arm in a jiu-jitsu fight, but I'm not fighting is the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard. So the MMA guys who defend MMA be, oh, I'm in UFC. This is fighting. Oh, I took an MMA fight. This is fighting. This is not fighting. It's fighting. It's a style of fighting.
Right.
Period. If you're going mano a mano with the one guy, I'm trying to put you to sleep based on the rule set given to me, and I'm trying to snap limbs based on the rule set given to me.
Right. Granted,
I can't strike. It's still fighting.
Yeah.
So yeah, break that shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I think what rubbed me the wrong way was I would give it up and let, even if I lost, I would know.
I saw a spiral humorous break from a Kimura at a grappling X about a year ago. This guy walks onto the mat and me and a bunch of my squad, me, Vader, a couple other guys were all standing there. Like We had another guy going.
Mhm.
I think maybe it was Vader. Was it Vader who was competing? I don't know who was competing. But so the guys before us were there, and this other guy's just jacked. Just an athlete, you can tell.
Mhm.
And it's no gi, and it's grappling X. So the thing about grappling X is a lot of times is they don't, especially here in Southern California, I don't know about other places, but they don't have a lot of people. So like they'll be scrambling. This adult with the masters, it was like they're just plugging guys into different brackets to get people smoke, right?
Right.
So
And they guarantee a 2 match minimum.
Right.
So
this one dude looks like he's an active competitor. He's built like a fucking brick shit house, like purple belt division or whatever, blue belt. And he's just big. This other guy looks like a fucking dad. Smaller, like they're just not on the same level. Off eyeball test. You're like, whoa, something's up here. This guy shoots in, grabs a single. The buff big black guy fucking lets him grab a single. And what's he do? I don't know why I said black. It doesn't matter what color it is. I'm just trying to give you a visual here.
yeah.
He grabs, as soon as he has a single, Kimura.
And jumps roll.
And just falls to his back and just brings that shit all over his head and touches the ground.
Oh,
Just breaks it. The guy stayed like almost like on a guillotine. Like the guy jumped guard, like almost like dropped his back on guard.
right.
And the guy stayed like basically DDT'd himself facing the mat, stayed on top of the guy. The guy brought his arm all the way over and touched the mat and just, you just hear it.
Oh,
And the guy's arm was just hanging there. And I'm like, holy shit. It's the first time I ever seen that live.
yeah.
And I'm like, I've seen arm breaks, but I was like, whoa. And I just look over to like Mike Bravo and some of the other, and Vader who was watching. And I was like, that guy ain't going to work tomorrow. that guy might be out of work still. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's a gnarly break, dude.
that was insane. And I was like, and then Vader and I'm going as the guy, same guy. And I was like, hey, whatever we do,
Let's not shoot singles on this guy.
let's fucking be mindful of this guy's athletic ability. He's like, we will. And Vader did very well. But like, still, that was insane. So I don't know where we were talking about that, but yeah, I seen a spiral break and it was nasty.
Yeah. Just it being a fight in general.
Yeah, it's a fight.
Speaking of grappling access.
So you're gonna tell me that guy didn't? Oh yeah, you're gonna tell me that fucking dad didn't get in a fight that day?
Right.
No, he did.
Right.
He lost.
Yeah. Tony, our first guest, competed in grappling X yesterday and took 3rd in no-gi, 1st in gi. Brown belt.
Very good. Very good. Tony. He said he wanted to compete a lot more. Did good.
So congrats, Tony.
Congrats.
You're on that road. This was a long. This is why I just posted the screenshot here. It says this is actually a question from our YouTube.
Okay.
So we had talked about some gi stuff in one of our YouTube videos and like actual gi, wearing a gi type thing, purchasing a gi.
Mm.
And he said, what are 2 to 3 unwritten rules? I snagged a gi off of Facebook Marketplace
Mm-hmm.
and wore it to my gym. No one told me it was disrespectful to wear a big name gym gi into our small gym. And no one actually said anything, but I got a weird vibe from my professor, and someone else mentioned getting some patch rippers off of Amazon. I feel like those are super easy ways to cut the amount of time it takes to feel comfortable in a specific gym culture. Thanks in advance and Os. So what he's saying is he bought like let's say a Gracie Baja gi used off of Amazon or off of Facebook Marketplace.
And now he's at a different team.
But he was never a Gracie Baja guy. He just wanted a cheap gi.
Right.
He wore it to his gym, which is like a, gym's jiu-jitsu. And people looked at him weird because he had a Gracie Baja gi on or something like that.
You should first of all, the professor, just tell him, like, hey, I'm giving you money, man. Like, right now, I'm working on getting a new gi. Right now, this is what I got.
Right.
Know that you're going to get a lot of fucking smoke by wearing a different team's patches on your shit. But, this is what you have right now. So I remember when I first went to Poncho, I had American Top Team gi. And, man, I was wearing, that's what I had. All my gear was American Top Team, ATT, and Carlson Gracie. So I was like, damn, these motherfuckers are coming at me hard. And I remember Poncho rolling with me one time and be like, I was I was having a good time till I saw these bulldogs on your arm. And like, and then you fucking choke the shit out of me. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, you're putting a kind of a bullseye on yourself from having that gi, especially if you've never even been at that school.
Yeah.
You're putting an unwanted bullseye. But yeah, you can like patch over them, or
you can buy a thread ripper. Yeah. From Amazon. They're probably 3 for $1 or some shit like that.
And you can buy an elite gi for $62.
Yeah.
And solve that problem. So it's not really a big issue. Now I'm saying, like, if you're going to a school and they have their own gis,
right?
A lot of times signing up at the school, they'll offer you a gi.
Well, when I read this question, I was having a conversation with my wife about it. And I'd mentioned when I very first looked into getting into jiu-jitsu, I was working in Elsinore and I lived in Wildemar. And I started looking for gyms in Elsinore or like that during that commute home. And the first one was a Gracie Baja in Elsinore. And I called and I was like, hey, like, you know, I'm interested in starting up. Like, what are the startup costs? I just want to know what I'm getting myself into. What kind of financial commitment I'm going to make.
Off a railroad canyon?
Yeah. Yeah. It was $150 startup fee, $150 for the gi, and then $150 a month. And you have to wear their gi.
Yeah, they're really strict about their rash guard, their gi.
Right. So I was like, off rip, I'm spending $450 my first month of jiu-jitsu just to start.
Yeah.
And I didn't obviously go that route.
No taking away from Gracie Baja, because they've got good credentials and they've got a lot of good, good guys that fight under their brand. But they're very expensive.
Yeah.
When it comes to like that, like, and they're like, I prefer a gym that lets you have freedom in your style of fighting.
Right.
Like, I have freedom. Like, I like seeing this, the cell phone argument. Back in the day, you used to be able to, everybody had a different phone. Some people had a Sidekick. Some people had a chocolate. Some people had a flip. Some people had a razor. And it was cool. It was like, oh, this guy's got
before
this.
Before it was an Android.
Now there's two fucking phones.
Yeah.
And I feel like Gracie Baja is kind of like, hey, this is our gi. Everybody looks the same. Like, no, let people be creative. Let people show off what they like, their style. We got some guys who wear Hyperfly and want to look fucking like a fucking Skittle. We got fucking guys who fucking wear Level Black and want to look like they fucking like metal and they're fucking into that fucking, into, just the freaking black fucking dark stuff.
Right.
You got Shoei Roll, who is like, this show's like, hey, yeah, I'm not afraid to spend $700 on a gi. You know what I mean?
And wait.
Yeah.
Wake up at 4:00 in the morning.
You wear Moya brand. You're like, hey, I'm kind of like Shoei Roll, but like I got kids. So it's a little bit cheaper.
Yeah. $350.
Right. So like I like people who like show, got elite guys. Like, I'm just starting, man. I'm wearing my elite gi. I wear Fuji, whatever.
Right.
There's all these different brands, and it lets you show. I'd like people to be able to show their personality through the stuff that they wear.
Right.
And I think it's cool. I think it's cool when a guy's got a sponsor in your school. Like, man, this guy's sponsored by so-and-so.
Right.
And he gets to wear their stuff.
Right.
And this guy's sponsored by this.
Yeah.
Like, Poncho sponsored by Shoei Roll. He wears Shoei Roll. He doesn't make everybody wear Shoei Roll in his gym.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. And I think a lot of people do because of him. But I went to their website just to see. I'm like, I hear they're good gis.
They're good gis. I got one. It's good.
Good luck fucking buying it. How did Poncho get it for you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the only way you got it.
It's the only way.
Yeah, because if you try to get a gi from them, yeah, good luck.
It's like buying Jordans.
Yeah, Ted on.
So like, you know what I mean? We're blessed that we get hooked up with some gis from Level Black.
Yeah,
let us show our style. Let us be creative with. Why are you going to take that away by making everybody just wear Gracie Baja gis?
Right.
What if you have a top tier athlete in your gym and he can't get sponsors from gi companies and wear them in training and show off his stuff? Right. Where does he go to show off his sponsor? Where does a Gracie Baja athlete go to show off his gi sponsor? I'm sponsored by War Tribe, but I can't wear it. I got to wear this white gi.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I get it's like, it's not about me. It's a team. We're Gracie Baja, maybe. But like, to me, it's also like, we're going to stitch this whole little section here and cut it up. I want some Gracie Bajas to come here and tell me the pros and like why it's cool. Like some professors, I want professors to get in the DMs or on YouTube, or whatever. And I want you guys to say, this is why we like to wear, everybody wear the same gi. It looks cool. It looks professional. It looks good in photos. I'll give you that. After that,
Why?
like, I think it takes away from the jiu-jitsu athlete and one, expressing himself, and two, if he's sponsored, try to build his brand, try to help create his promote.
We constantly talk about the struggle of being a jiu-jitsu athlete and making it a professional like career. You know what I mean? So like if you're Gracie Baja athlete and that's the discipline,
and they've got amazing ones.
Yeah. Then AJ Agazarm is one of them. So it's like, what
does Agazarm have a sponsor from a gi company?
I don't know. I'm just saying he
could have
absolutely.
one.
Absolutely. So is he not, now he can't make that you're just taking a stream of income away from these people.
Yeah, perhaps. Very, very much likely.
So.
Imagine if, Varela couldn't wear level black.
Right.
And like all he had to do, he had to wear 10th Planet stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Like part of his branding is pushing his level back stuff and them sharing his stuff and growing him.
Right.
So I think that would be, I just think it's a disservice to your students, and they're already paying you a lot of money.
Right. Yeah.
Question.
Listener questions. The veggie drawer.
Oh, she's back. No, the wife.
If you could do one thing different, what would it be? Is it just whatever, or in regards to
jiu-jitsu? I think she means whatever. If we're going, let's get serious here, okay? Look, I have one huge regret in life. Hugest regret I have in life is my grandmother who helped raise me. My grandmother and my grandfather helped raise me. My grandmother was really, really sick from like 8th grade to like senior year, in and out of the hospital all the time. And I would always go visit when she was in the hospital. I'd always go visit her with my grandfather. And that was kind of like, then we get dinner. But this was a very, very normal thing that happened all the time. And so grandma had to go back to the hospital again. And she'd been in there for about a week, but I'd visit her Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And it's just like probably the 10th or 11th time she's been in the hospital since 8th grade. And I said to myself, my friends were like, let's go to a party tonight. Come on, blah, blah. Let's do this. Let's do that. And I was like, I was going to go see my grandma. I'm like, come on, man. We'll go see her tomorrow. I was like, and my grandpa never really made me go. I just went.
Right.
And I was like, all right, I'll go tonight. I'll go. I went to the party. Come back from the party. And I'm pulling in. And I see my grandpa out in the front yard, and it's late, and he should be asleep by now. And I was like, what's going on? He's like, well, my wife died.
Wow.
And I was like, that's probably my biggest regret in my life is I didn't, I went to a fucking party and I didn't go see my grandma. My grandma passed away and I wasn't there. So that was the biggest regret. I don't think my wife even knows that. So there you go, honey.
I have one very similar to that. So, I was born in Northern California and we moved away when I was 4 and I grew up in San Diego. And after I left the military, I ended up moving back to Northern California because I'd never really lived there. Like, I went and visited summers, Christmas break, things like that. I've got a bunch of family up there. So move up there. I live 15 minutes away from my grandma. I'd pop in and see her here and there and whatnot, but I'd lived there for probably like 3 years at this point and seen her a handful of times. Could have gone whenever, you know what I mean? Like she's just literally right down the road. And this is like maybe 23rd, 24th birthday. She hits me up. She calls me like a week before my birthday. Invites me over for dinner. I'll make you pot roast, which is like one of my favorite things that she made. Make you cake. We'll celebrate your birthday. I was like, sweet. I agreed to it. Very similar. I was in my early 20s, and I was bartending at the time. And I called her the day of. I'm sure she's already bought all the food and everything and probably already had it on, cooking. And I bailed on her. And I didn't go have dinner with my grandma. And she was like making a big deal out of it for me specifically.
It was just something you were doing in the week, but it was her highlight.
Yeah. Shortly after that, she went to the hospital for nothing major at all. Like maybe a checkup or sick or something like that, just like cough or some shit. While in the hospital, she got a really bad staph infection. And within a week, she was dead. I never got, and when she was in the hospital, once they admitted her, she was in a coma. Like she did not. I never got to go spend that time to make it up to my grandma for bailing on her. It's one of those things where I constantly look back and I'm like you just said, that was the highlight of her week. My grandma reached out to me, which she had never done, in the couple years I'd lived there, to make it a point to have me come over. And there could have been a reason for it. Maybe not. Probably not. There could have been. But she reached out to me to like spend time with me, her grandson. And she's got a bunch of grandkids. You know what I mean? Close with my cousin Keith. Like he was probably the closest of all the grandkids to her. And I was probably right there, but I've got probably 6 cousins or something like that in that family. And she reached out to me to spend some time with me. And I fucking bailed on her because I wanted to go drink and party with friends.
Yeah, it was really, to me, I mean, it's a huge regret for me because one, I wasn't there for my grandfather.
Yeah.
And I just didn't value life at 17.
Yeah.
I wasn't valuing life like I do now. You're dumb. You just feel like everything's invincible. Like you got it all figured out. And like, you don't like, people don't last forever.
Death is always something I've struggled with. Understanding how to feel about it. I've had, within like a couple year span, I lost one of my cousins. That was a couple of months before my grandma died. Then I lost her. I lost my other grandma on my mom's side. And I lost an uncle. All within like a 1 year span.
Jeez.
I didn't cry at a single one of those funerals until my uncle's. And he wasn't even an uncle I was close to. And at his funeral, I decided I wanted to speak at it and go up and talk. And it was like all of those deaths beforehand that I didn't shed a tear at, that I didn't even know how to process it. I broke down and I was reading this speech that I had written about my uncle, and you couldn't make out a single word that I was saying because it was just mumbled with fucking tears and weeping, and I just didn't know how to process it. And since that one time crying, I've lost my sister, lost my grandpa on my mom's side, lost my uncle on my mom's side. And didn't cry at any of those either. Like I don't know. The death is, some people process it differently. Some people I see people, I guess, I don't know. I've always wanted to like be the Rock, or not wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I just always felt like that, especially with when my sister passed away. She's 7 years older than me. My mom was hurting in a bad way. Still to this day, that hurts her. And I just remember trying to, like, when she passed away, she lived in Arizona. My parents were still out here in San Diego. I drove with my parents out there to like clean up her belongings, get things together, clear out her house, things like that. And my mom, it was there for a week. My mom was just an absolute mess. And just remember like trying to like keep my mom focused on the task. And like, I know that you're hurting. I know, but we got to get this done. We only have a short period of time to do it. And like, I don't know. Processing death has just been like a weird thing for me. And I don't know if it's something I'll ever really do the right way. I don't know if there's a right way, but like, I don't know. Like the whole mourning process, I've never like fully understood it or like grasped it or done it for that matter.
It's something everybody deals with. And I know some people have never dealt with death. I'm like, that's crazy to me because I have, you know what I mean? And I know that like, so like I've been taking therapy. And so I talk about a lot of this stuff with my therapist, and I'm like, so I start talking about like my dad. So I don't get along with my dad at all. Like we get along. He thinks the relationship is better than it is because he's just so blind, I think. So then we start talking about it, and I start getting emotional because this lady's like finding all the buttons. You know what I mean? And she's like, why are you like afraid to be emotional or afraid to cry? And I was like, well, because he doesn't deserve my tears. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, why is he going to make me cry again? Like, he doesn't even care.
You did enough of that as a kid.
Like, I'm not going to give him this.
Right.
And then I realized that I'm not crying. I'm not giving them to him. I'm crying for me.
Right.
So like the tears aren't for him. They're for yourself.
It's your release. It's
my release. Yeah. So like the whole be tough, like thing that you had to deal with your speech. Like I'm going to have to do that for my little sister someday. And my little sister loves my dad. And I'm going to someone's have to say something nice about him. And it's going to have to be me.
Right.
I'm going to go up there and give this speech about him for her. So like to be tough, you know, like kind of like, am I going to cry? Am I going to be emotional? I don't know. So I can kind of see where you're at from there because there's been some deaths also for me where I didn't show much emotion, but then all of a sudden one day just driving home, I'll just have some breakdown.
Right.
And I think that's probably what happened with your uncle. And it was like a cumulative of everything.
Right.
Like a zit just finally popping. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So thanks, honey. Appreciate it. What kind of podcast Dr. Phil is this? This is balance. Balance. Oh, what a transition. You know, the transition, you can't write these transitions up. Kenny, you're a fucking wizard. We
went from heartfelt fucking damn near holding it in.
Yeah, to who?
To Ronzilla. Oh, fuck. Ronzilla says, have you noticed in recent years that the standard closed guard has gone away?
Yeah. Basically from the beginning, the closed guard was like, especially from the evolution of no gi being so popular, You're just not really much you can do from closed guard. Closed guard is a defensive position. Even if you're good at gi, you could look for your Bravo chokes and your collar chokes, but you're not going to get generally, you're not going to get a finish from closed guard. You have to open your legs, either shoot a triangle, shoot an arm bar, hit a sweep, get the spider, get the lasso, get the butterfly. You're opening your guard. So like the evolution of the sport you're more dangerous with an open guard.
I think the open guard is the basis for a lot of the newer guards and whatnot, but I just think it's, like you said, it's evolution. People have built upon it.
You're closing your guard, you're resting.
Right.
You're overhooking. In MMA, closed guard is a good thing because you can overhook, hold the head.
Right.
Defend from punishment, right? You're looking for a stand-up.
Or you're trying to pull them into you for...
But you got to open up if you want to like flower sleep or whatever. You have to open up.
Right.
You want to shoot a triangle. You want to push, pull an arm. So defending, obviously, you know, we have evolved from a closed guard. Hoist Gracie closed guard in the early 90s, but he was also opening guard when he was heel kicking the back of people's ribs and shit. His guard was open.
Right.
He was never just traditionally locked.
Right.
It was an open guard. People just didn't even know how to pass.
Maybe that's why too. Maybe passing has gotten so much better that you've had to come up with more effective guards since then.
Yeah, closed guard in MMA, you're going to get pounded out.
Right.
You can't sit there too long. You better get on a hip. You better get your foot on the hips, push off, get back to your feet, get to a sweep, get to a submission, attack. Otherwise, you're going to be wearing elbows. If their head's buried in your chest, you're going to get smothered. You want to walk to the fence, get up. Like, you better work because close guard, you're going to get in MMA, you're going to get smashed. So,
Anadocia grasslands. I hope I'm saying that right. When your teammates complain about how much you weigh, especially girls.
Like girls wrong with me. I'm pretty light when it comes to rolling with girls. I let them work.
Yeah.
You're not going to feel.
Even if I get you in half guard, I'm pulling my weight. Like not even like, I'm barely like touching you chest to chest just to keep you in the position, but I'm not smothering you to, you know what I mean? You're not getting the.
No, I can't talk for them. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I think I am and I'm really still hurting them. I don't know. But people complaining about how big I am, that is a normal thing.
Right.
Like that is the number one complaint I've been getting from anybody in jiu-jitsu is like, hey, you're this, but you're just big. Like, oh man, but you're too big. Like that's the number one thing. And what I have to say about that is what I've said. Don't blame me because your dad likes a spinner. So like it is what it is. Like you're big. I'm big. I will smash you.
Yeah.
Like that sucks, dude. I'm sorry. And there's guys that are bigger than me.
I can confirm it sucks.
There's guys that are bigger than me and they smashed me. Happens. This is jiu-jitsu. Use what God gave you to be the best jiu-jitsu person that you can be. If he made you fast, be fast. If he made you be big, be fucking real big.
Yeah. And like we said, nobody bitches about people being too flexible. You know what I mean? Like
if you're flexible, be flexible.
Yeah. Yeah. Use your tools.
If you're a blue belt and you're good looking and you have abs, go viral.
Damn it. C-Money 187. How do I explain to gi homies that no gi is the only way? Also, the gi is dead. Long live the gi. The gi is dead.
The gi is dead. It's not dead. The gi is not dead. The gi is taking out. The gi is the most. There's more people signed up for gi in tournaments than there are no gi.
Yeah.
If you look at any big tournament, there are more people competing in gi. There's more gi divisions than there are no gi divisions.
We touched on this with the Brandon McCaffrey podcast, but I think no-gi is the gateway drug to jiu-jitsu. It gets people interested. It's more palatable. It's easier to understand. It's a little more flashy because there's more scrambles. There's less stalling with the gi and whatnot. Once people get a taste for jiu-jitsu and then they pursue jiu-jitsu on their own and they go to a traditional jiu-jitsu school and they learn the gi, typically they fall in love with the gi. This sounds like somebody who... C-Money, am I correct in assuming that maybe you're a 10 planet guy?
Whatever.
If you
someone's going to screen grab that and fuck me. Dude.
Yeah. It's fine if you are.
Someone's going to take this.
Right.
And just ruin my day. Oh. I can't bend this finger.
At the camera. Screen grab.
There's a thumbnail. Someone's going to ruin my fucking day with that. But look, gi, if you look at all the tournaments, it's gi 9 a.m. to 3.
Right.
No gi 4 to 7. Absolute gi.
Yeah.
7:30 to fucking. That's all the tournaments. And I think if MMA didn't exist, or if they allowed people to still wear their gi, like they just like you can wear whatever you want.
Right.
Like we talked about earlier, expressing yourself via your gear. Like that's when MMA was cool, when you could wear Condom Depot on your ass. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody had different trunks and stuff. Like, you could put your sponsor. I thought that was the coolest part of MMA. But now everybody has to wear the same shit. And it's not cool. But I think if they allowed people to still wear the gi and stuff, or like, gi might still be prevalent.
Yeah.
Like to the modern person who doesn't know anything. But right now, all they see in MMA is no gi.
Right.
And so they feel like, you know, and some of the biggest names are no gi right now.
Yeah.
But like, try gi class, man. I'm telling you right now.
Right.
If you've never trained and you're like, I'm going to do no gi, try gi class. And you'll realize that like there's a lot of stuff in gi that can really help you in a street situation, that can really help you in a real fight. Or if you've
only ever trained no gi and you think you're dope, go do a gi class and see how much you don't know still.
Yep. Like I've seen elite gi guys go to no gi
and dominate
and win ADCC and do very well. I've seen a no gi guys put a gi on and not even podium.
Yeah.
there's difference.
Yeah.
You can go up against a gi guy in a gi tournament, and there's some dude with a Brazilian name that no one even knows comes in and absolutely wrecks your shit, and you thought you were somebody, and you're nobody.
Yeah.
You can go into no gi and fight a guy and beat some guy that like you shouldn't beat, and like, or lose to some guy you shouldn't lose to, and still be okay. But like gi, it's so much talent. There's so many freaking, it's been around longer.
Yeah.
So there's some dude right now with no social media that you don't even know.
Right.
Named Octavio de Souza, whatever. And he's going to come in. You're like, who's this guy? And he's just going to wreck your shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah.
What was that? No-gi, everybody who's good, you pretty much know who they are.
Yeah.
Because no-gi people are good at saying like, look at me, no-gi.
Yeah.
Here's my fucking whatever. Right?
Just Matt over here throwing up gang signs.
I'm just out here fucking doing the 9 trick and math.
Last question. Robert in Hoherd. I hope I'm saying that right, man. Sorry. Who's a black belt that murdered you the worst and didn't sweat doing it?
There's a lot.
Kenny,
go first.
Phil. Professor Phil.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I've told this story in the pod. I went to an open mat at Murrieta. He asked me if I want to roll. I said, yeah. Honor. I'm giving him my all. And I'm like a fresh blue belt at this point. I'm like all proud, you know. I think it was my first open mat at Murrieta. Once I got my blue belt, I was stoked, right? I'm fucking giving Phil my all. And I'm a little larger than Phil. I probably outweigh him by 10, 15 pounds, maybe a couple inches taller. He has one arm on me. He's not even looking at me. He's got another arm free, and people are walking in the door, and he's like welcoming them in with his free arm and having a conversation while I'm still working. I didn't stop. And he's beating me without even looking at me. And then as soon as he was done welcoming them in, he like grabbed something and then immediately swept me. And I was like, son of a bitch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Phil's a motherfucker. There's a lot of guys. There's guys in my gym now. Poncho, Renato. Phil gives me trouble. I'm having trouble with Phil lately. They're sweating though. Maybe not Renato, Poncho, but like I feel like I fight a little bit with Phil, but like he's beating me right now. There's, you know, I had that match with Bishesha. Mm-hmm. that was probably the one, right? I went to Bishesha, went to headquarters. We're helping him get ready for a fight or a tournament, and Poncho's like, he needs big guys. He sent me there. Poncho's like something in Portuguese, points to me and says lasso. Basically told Bishesha the only fucking the sadness, bro.
Fucking sold you out.
The sadness, bro. Hey.
You knew where you sat on his totem pole?
He points to me and goes, something Portuguese, lasso. I look at Poncho and I go, I only have like maybe a quarter of a bullet in this gun. And that was it. This is brown belt me. And I'm like, and you just told arguably the greatest of all time of my only weapon that I have. And so like when I'm at headquarters, I'm like, well, all right. So we start from the feet. He doubles me, takes me down, mounts me, subs me. He subbed me like 3 or 4 times in like a 10-minute round. And I was like, what? I couldn't even like
wrap your head around it.
Wrap my experience like what I was dealing with right now. And it was like, I was like, man, I feel like I didn't even give him work. You know what I mean? I was the first guy, so I was a warm up.
Oh, okay.
First round, you're just warm up round, right? And we started from the feet. It was cool. It was a great experience to have, but absolutely smoked me. And then I remember Punch was like, okay, we're all going to basically Shark Tank Bishesha. And he was like, when the time runs up, you just run and jump on him wherever you're at.
Right.
And vice versa. And I was going to do that. So I was waiting on the wall. My turn was coming up. And it was Luis Ponza was there rolling. All these guys were just rolling Bishesha. These fucking great guys. Like not even in their fucking class to this day. Like, wow. Right. So I'm like, all right, I'm ready. And I'm like about to go in, and Poncho's actually doing very well against Bishesha. And I'm about to run in, and Poncho goes, Like, I got this. Don't you dare. I'm staying here. And I'm like, all right. And I fucking didn't go back in. But like, that's my Buchecha. Buchecha, for sure. Marcus Almeida Buchecha was my toughest round I've ever had. And the guy that I'm like, wow, I can't even realize I can't even do anything.
How you could be that good.
And I actually, like, that happened to me a lot, the lower belts. I'm like, what the hell? But like, I was a brown belt. You know what I mean? So I was like, I had the concept of jiu-jitsu, and I was like 240.
Right.
So I was a body. And I was like, I can't believe I don't know what's going on. And Buchecha, this is already going to be played, but April 23rd will be, I don't know if it's going to be played or not, but April 23rd, check Matt Marietta.
This will be the week before.
Check Matt Marietta, Buchecha, the guy who absolutely sauced me and has sauced almost everybody in the planet and is a 13-time world champion. Could easily be 14, but he gave one of his world titles away to Leandro Lowe, RIP. Will be at Check Matt Marietta, April 23rd. So if you want to learn from arguably one of the absolute greats, it's either Buchecha or Hodger Gracie.
Yeah.
If you want to learn from Buchecha, hit up Check Matt Marietta, go to a seminar. So, yeah, Buchecha fucked me up. You think what I'm thinking, buddy?
Aim for the bushes.
Aim for the fucking bushes. Everybody, thank you for the follows. Thank you for all the subscribing. Oast Nation, 23 million accounts reached. 83,000 followers. You guys are fucking wild. Oast Nation BJJ on Instagram, at Free Party BJJ. YouTube, get me to 1,000. I'll get my titties wet in an ice bath. Kenny to 5,000 by Christmas. The guy's going to grow a skullet. He will post something on TikTok soon. Again, everybody, thank you very much. I appreciate all you guys. And I'll catch you around. Os.